טוב מנעים שבט אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב שבט אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב שבט אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב מנעים שבט אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב מנעים שבט אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב שבט אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב שבט אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבט אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבט אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב הנה מה טוב לי 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 הנה מה טוב הנה מה טוב לי 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 הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבט אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבט אחים גם יחד. Shabbat Shalom everyone, good morning, welcome. If you are here for Chase Huttman's bar mitzvah service, then you are in the right place. If you are here for someone else's bar mitzvah, you can still stay, but you're in the wrong place. But Shabbat Shalom, welcome everyone to Congregation B'nai Israel. For those of you who do not know, my name is Cantor David Muchnick. I'm the cantor here at Congregation B'nai Israel. But leading with me this morning is our one and only bar mitzvah, Chase Huttman. So what I'd like to do is welcome all of you, but also welcome all those who are watching via virtually. We are streaming this live. For anyone who is asking or needs to know how to be able to view this service live right now you go to our website, cbiboca.org, you press the live stream, and it'll pop right up. So hopefully you'll be able to join. We will be using and participating and joining with Chase throughout the service, and I hope you all were able to receive and pick up a book on your way in. It is the blue book, and make sure that it says Shabbat on it. We have a couple of different blue books. One is for festival, one is for Shabbat. So if one got stuck in there and says festival, you have the wrong one. But if you have the Shabbat, we're good. I will be announcing pages, as once again, Chase will be leading most of the service, many aspects of the service, including Torah and Haftorah. So the very first thing that we do this morning, before we go ahead and start with services, we are going to present Chase with his talit. So at this time in our service, I'm going to call up Stacy and Jeff to do just that. If you would like to follow along with the blessing that Chase is going to recite for the talit, that's on page 190.
On this Shabbat, we rejoice in your coming of age in our tradition, as a symbol of your entrance as a responsible member into the adult Jewish community. It is our honor to present you with this talit. And this talit was given to him by his Bubby and Zaida, so it's very special to him.
Our tradition teaches us to put tzitzit, fringes on the corners of our garments in every generation,
and as a reminder to observe all of God's commandments. Now, as a bar mitzvah, a child of the commandments, you are ready to make moral choices, to grow emotionally and intellectually, and to take responsibility for the mitzvot of your decisions. Be holy unto your God. Bring blessings to our world, and may you bring to the household of Israel the same pride and joy, nafes, that you bring to us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu mitzvotav v'tzivanu v'hitatef b'tzitzit. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who makes us holy through this mitzvot and commands us to wrap ourselves in this fringed garment.
And as we do on any new occasion or first time doing something for the very first time, we recite the Shehechianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu Azman hazeh. Ah, 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 amen. As we continue to welcome in this morning's Shabbat, this bar mitzvah, just as so you know, when you look inside your book, there are 2 page numbers. One is in dark black, smaller numbers, and the other numbers are in brackets. The page numbers that we'll be using this morning will be the ones in the bracketed form. So if you take a look at the bottom right, you'll know exactly what I mean. The pages that I'll announce will be the bracket numbers. We now continue on page 192 with Matovu. Mishkenotecha Yisrael, ma tovu, ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael, vani berov chasecha, ahavo veitecha, Eshtacha ve'elecha kodecha ve'yiratecha, ma tovu, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael, ma tovu. Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Continue now on page 194 in the English. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who formed the human body with skill, creating the body's many pathways and openings. It is well known before your throne of glory that if one of them be wrongly opened or closed, Baruch atah Adonai rofeh chol basar umafli la'asot. Going to continue now on page 224. 224 with the Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal ve'yitkadash shemei Rabbah ve'homad yivrach yirutei ve'yamlich malchutei b'chayeichon u'v'yomeichon u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'gala u'vizman kari ve'imeru Amen. Yehishmei Rabba mevorach le'olam lol mehalmaya yitbarach ve'ishtabach v'yitpar v'yitroma v'yitnaseh ve'yitadar ve'yitaleh ve'yitalal shemei dekudesha berichu le'ila min kol merchata ve'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma ve'imeru. Amen. We rise now as one on page 226 for the official call to worship with the Baruch. Lai 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 Adonai HaMevorach Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed May be seated. Continue together in the English on page 110. 228. See, even I make mistakes. There we go. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of light and darkness, who makes peace and fashions all things. In mercy you illumine the world and those who live upon it. In your goodness you daily renew creation. How numerous are your works, Adonai. In wisdom you formed them all, filling the earth with your creatures. Be praised, Adonai, our God, for the excellent work of your hands, and for the lights you created. May they glorify you. Shine a new light upon Zion, that we all may swiftly merit its radiance. Praised are you, Adonai, creator of all heavenly lights. Baruch atah Adonai, yotzer hame'orot. Page 112. Together, how deeply you have loved us, Adonai, our God, gracing us with surpassing compassion. On account of our forebears whose trust led you to teach them the laws of life, be gracious to us, teaching us as well. O merciful one, have mercy on us by making us able to understand and discern, to heed, learn, and teach, and lovingly to observe, perform, and fulfill all that is in your Torah. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava. We now turn to page 232 as Chase, our bar mitzvah of the morning, will lead us in the Shema and V'ahavta, page 232.
Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevot Malhuto Leolam Vaed.
Page 234.
Ve'afta et Adonai Elohecha behol levaha uvehol nafsheha uvehol meodeha ve'hayu hadvarin ha'ele asher anuhi metacha hayom alevavecha ve'shinatan levanecha ve'dibarta bam ve'shivteha beveteha Uveteha baderek ot al yadecha vehayu letotafot beineneha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hetem kedoshim lelohehem Ani Adonai Elohim Asher Atati Etem Me'eret Mitzrayim Le'ot Lahem Le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohim
Adonai Elohim Emet. We turn to page 239. Let's read together responsively. In the middle of page 239. The eternal truth is that you alone are God and there is none else. Together? Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. You shall not hate your brother or your sister in your heart. Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor, asks God. Praise to God Most High. We continue with this song of redemption, Mi Chamocha, page 240. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. Shira chadasha, shivchu gehulim, leshimcha. Asefat hayam, yachad kulam hodvim lichu ve'amru. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Tzu Yisrael, kuma be'ezrat Yisrael, Uftechinu mecha, Yehuda ve'Yisrael. Gohaleinu Adonai tzevaot shemo, Kidosh Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael. Continue now with the tefillah, the Amidah. We rise as one kahal once again, as Chase is going to lead us this morning on page 242.
Adonai sefata tiftah ufi yagi tehilateha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, ve'Konei Hakol, Ve'zoher Hasdei Avod ve'imaot, vigula livnei v'nehem leman shemo be'ahava melech ozer u'moshia u'magen Baruch atah Adonai magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah Tagibor le'olam Adonai mechaye hakol atav rav le'oshia Mashiv harua umorid hagashem Melkei chayim behesed Mehaye hakol berachamim rabim Someh nofli verofei holim Umatir asurim Umekayem emunato Lishenei afar Michamocha ba'al gevurot Umido melach Melech nemet umahaye Umatmiya Yeshua V'ne'eman atah lechayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechaye hakol.
Continue with the Kedusha found on page 248. Nekadesh shimcha ba'olam Keshem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marom Hakatuv היה נביאך וקרא זה אל זה ואמר קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות מלוך כל הארץ כבודו אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו מהדיר שמך בכל הארץ ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו אחד הוא אלוהינו הוא אבינו מלכנו ומושיענו והוא ישמיענו ברחמיו לעיני כל חי אני אדוני אלוהיכם ימלוך אדוני לעולם אלוהי ציון לדור ודור הללויה לדור ודור נגיגון לך ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש בשבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. We continue now silently, either in the Hebrew, the English, or any meditative prayers of your heart from pages 249 through 260. Ose shalom, shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ose shalom, shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen, amen. Ose shalom, shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. At this time in our service, we are going to now continue with the Torah service. This is the big moment, right? This is when we're going to call Chase up officially as a bar mitzvah, his aliyah. This makes him the official bar mitzvah. Just so you know, when Chase is chanting from the Torah, if you didn't grab a Torah plout book, which is one of those bigger, thicker, heavier books when you first walked in, you can go ahead and grab one right now if you'd like. If not, I will be announcing the pages, and if you still don't have a book after that, Chase will be chanting regardless. So for those who are watching virtually as well, we'll just be listening to Chase at this time. So I'm going to ask now, we have a couple of things that are going to happen with the Torah service due to COVID restrictions, unfortunately. As you all already noticed, the Torah is out and ready for it to be open to limit the interaction. So we are going to still proceed with the Torah service as if we were taking the Torah out, and then we will open the Torah and begin the aliyot. If you'd like to follow along in your siddur before we get to the Torah book itself, it's on page 362. Page 362. Ein kamocha va'elohim Adonai, ve'ein kema'asecha, malchutecha malchut kol olamim, u'memshaltecha bechol dor v'hador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Am harachamim eitiva v'tzolcha et Zion, timnei chomot Yerushalayim, ki v'chol levav תחנו מלך אל רם ונישא אדון עולמים. Turn to page 246. כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים, ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, ברוך שנתן תורה תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתו. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד, אחד אלוהינו גדול אדוננו קדוש שמו. גדלו לאדוני איתי ונרומם שמו יחדיו. Before we chant from Torah, before we listen to the Hebrew text and the words, we are going to now have Chase teach us a little bit about the Torah portion so we know what he's reading and what he's learned from it. So at this time, Chase, if you have your speech, go ahead, pull those microphones a little bit closer to you and teach us.
Shabbat Shalom, and thank you for being here to celebrate my bar mitzvah. It is important to me that you are all here and sharing my experience of becoming a man in the Jewish religion. I am very lucky because my Torah portion is the first portion of the Torah, which means I am one of the first bar mitzvahs of the new year. It is Bereshit, or creation. Everything starts at the beginning, even the world we live in. In my portion, I found that what spoke to me the most was how hard God worked to create the whole world. In the Torah, it took him under a week to create this world. Some people say God's weeks are as long as thousands and thousands of years for us. If that is true, it is even more impressive, because that shows how long and hard he worked. On the first day that God spent creating the world, he said, "Let there be light," and then there was light. Once God saw that the light was good, he called for a separation between light and darkness. He named the light day and the darkness night. The next day, God said, "Let there be a firmament, a heaven, separating the waters and dry land." He then created fruit trees and plants, a sun, moon, and stars, sea creatures and birds. On the sixth day, God started off by creating land animals. Afterwards, he created human beings, male and female, to rule over the world and all other living things. This is the start of how the human race was created. In the Torah, God created all humans equal. The only thing that divided humans was being either male or female. God did not foresee a division based upon race, religion, and socioeconomic status. This is why it is so important to treat everyone with the same level of respect and kindness. My bar mitzvah project was formulated upon my belief that if there is something I love, people who aren't as lucky as me and don't have the same opportunities should be able to have a chance to experience it. This is why I worked on making a basketball court in Gambela, Ethiopia. With the support of my friends and family, I am going to be able to give many poverty-stricken children a chance to play basketball and possibly find something that they love in life. One of the lines that stood out to me in my Torah portion states, "Be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and tame it." I think that this means that we have the responsibility to fill the earth with things that both preserve and improve it. If we put effort into making it better than the way we found it, there will be more generations of humans to come and experience the world in all of its beauty. At the same time, if we were to neglect it, the world could eventually be destroyed. Although I am only 13, I can already see the long-term impacts that global warming has had on the environment that God created for us. No one will ever know exactly how the world was created or what God said and did. But what I do know is that He intended for us to treat the world with care and preserve it for future generations. Becoming a bar mitzvah is really important to me and my family. This means that I will be a man in the Jewish religion. It also means that I can carry on Judaism to my future family. I will be able to help keep the Jewish religion going, which is profoundly important to me as a great-grandchild of Holocaust survivors. The Holocaust was intended to wipe out the Jewish religion, so I know that my great-grandparents are looking over me, proudly seeing me become a man who will carry on our religion. Whether you are here in person or virtually, I want to thank each and everyone here for coming. I want to thank my parents for creating and raising me to become who I am now. Without you guys, none of this would be possible. I love you both so much. I want to also thank my sister for making my life miserable sometimes, but great the rest of the time. Lastly, I want to thank Tomer for helping me through this huge part of my life and become a bar mitzvah. Thank you for believing in me and being patient through this process. Thanks for listening to my Devar Torah speech, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Well done. So there's a process to the Torah service. Chase will be having 4 aliyot, 4 little sections of Torah. With each section of Torah that Chase will be chanting, we're going to be calling up people to say the blessing before and after. If you would like to follow along and you have the large book, we are going to be chanting from page 22, 4 lines from the top. And we are going to open up the Torah, get situated there. And for the first aliyah, I call up Tamod, Barry Dershaw, Nancy Dershaw, Marvin Huttman, Joyce Huttman, Baruch ben Label, Vechasya, Nana bat Moshe ve'Esther, Moshe Ruben ben Yosef ve'Hilda, Yecheved Pia, Yecheskel ve'Fegalea Rishon.
Baruch hu et Adonai hambaruch.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hambaruch le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher b'chabanu mikol ha'amim. V'nednanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Page 22.
Vayehulu hashamayim v'ha'aretz ve'otzava'am. Vayehal Elohim vayom hashvi'i melato asher asa. Vayishvot vayom hashvi'i mikol melatot asher asa. Vayivare Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayikadesh oto kivo Shabbat mikol melato asher bara Elohim la'asot.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan Torah emet v'kayei olam natata b'kaneinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Yasher Koach. You may take a seat. We call now for the second aliyah, Jordan Dershaw and Mason Huttman. Tamod Aharon ben Baruch v'Nana ve'Matana Hava bat Yosef Eshona aliyah sheni. Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed.
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Ele toto tashamayim v'ha'aretz be'iberam beyom asot Adonai Elohim eretz v'shamayim v'ho siach hasadeh terem iye ba'aretz v'ho esef hasadeh terem itzma ki lohim tir Adonai Elohim al ha'aretz ve'adam ayim לעבוד את האדמה, ועד יעלה מן הארץ, וישקע את כל פני האדמה. וייצר אדוני אלוהים את האדם, עפר מן האדמה, ואפיו באפיו נשמתיים, ויהא האדם לנפש חיה.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'hayei olam atah betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher koach. We call now for the third aliyah, Chase's parents, Jeff and Stacy Huttman. Tamod Yosef ben Moshe Ruben ve'Yechevet Pia ve'Shoshana bat Baruch v'Nana. Aliyah Shlishi.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Habarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayitza Adonai Elohim gan be'eden mikedem vayasem sham et hadam asher yatzar vayitzma uze Adonai Elohim min hadama ko et nechmad lemareh ve'tov lemarha ve'et hahim be'tov hagan ve'et hadat tov vara ve'na'ar yotze me'eden la'ishkot et hagan umishem yipared ve'haya li'arba rashim.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'hayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. One to two of you stay there. We now, for the moment we've been waiting for, the official call to the Torah for his bar mitzvah aliyah. Yamod, 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 Habachor habar mitzvah, Chaim ben Yosef v'Shoshana maftir chazak. Baruch Adonai Habarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarat le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Shem ha'echad pishon hu hasovev et kol eretz ha'avila, asher sham hazachav, uzehav ha'aretz hahiv tov, sham habedolah ve'even ha'shocham, v'shem hanahar ha'sheni gihon hu hasovev et kol eretz kush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'hayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher koach. We continue now in the presence of the Torah, as the Torah is in front of us, still out in the open. We now offer a prayer of healing for all those who are in need of healing, either in body, mind, or spirit. If you know or are thinking of anyone who is in need of such a prayer, I ask that you please say their names now out loud or in your hearts as I look in your direction. Misha Berach can be found on page 253. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Beirach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say After every Torah portion reading, there is a Haftorah, an additional reading that is not from the Torah. It's not half the Torah. It is commentary, actual commentary on the Torah portion itself. For those interested in following along, the Torah Haftorah portion can be found on page 51. And if you notice, you'll see Tomer Avivi, one of our bar mitzvah tutors, but he's more than a bar mitzvah tutor here at CBI. He's more than a bar mitzvah tutor for the Huttman family. He is truly almost like a member of the family. They've asked that he participate, and he is going to be chanting the Haftorah, but Chase will be opening up the Haftorah portion with the blessing before and the blessing after. So once again, if you'd like to follow along, the Haftorah blessings can be found on page 372 in your Siddur. And if you'd like to follow along in the Chumash, in the Plaut Chumash, the big book, it's on page 51, and Tomer will be chanting chapter 42, verse 5 through 13.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar binvein tovin v'ratzah v'divrehim hanemarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai aboher b'torah u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo u'vinviei ha'emet v'tzedek.
כה אמר האל אדוני בורא השמיים ונותיהם רוקה הארץ וצאצאיה נותן נשמה לעם עליה ורוח להולכים בה. אני אדוני קראתיך וצדק ואחזק בידיך ואצורך ואתנך לברית עם לאור גויים, לפקוח עיניים עיוורות, להוציא ממסגר אסיר מבית כלא יושבי חושך. אני אדוני הוא שמי וכבודי לאחר לא אתן, ותהילתי לפסילים. הראשונות הנה באו, וחדשות אני מגיד, בטרם תצמחנה אשמיע אתכם. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, תהילתו מקצה הארץ. יורדי העם ומלואו עם ויושביהם. ייסעו מדבר וערב, חצרים תשב קידר. ירונו יושבי סלע, מראש הרים יצבחו. ישימו לאדוני כבוד, ותהילתו באים יגידו. אדוני כגיבור יצא, כאיש מלחמות יאיר. קנאה יריע אף יצריח, על אויביו יתגבר. ברוך.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zor kol haolamim tzadik behol hadarot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh ha'medaber u'mkayem shekol davarav emet v'tzedek al ha'torah v'al ha'avodah v'al ha'nevi'im v'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh Shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu Likadusha v'limenuha L'hovud utifaret Al hakol Adonai Eloheinu Anachnu modim la Umvarhim ota Yibarashim ha Befi kol ha Tamid leolam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Meikadesh HaShabbat.
Simin tova, mazel tova, mazel tova, simin tov, mazel tova, mazel tova, simin tova, mazel tova, simin tov, yehei lanu. Simin tova, mazel tova, simin tova, mazel tova, simin tova, mazel tova, simin tov, yehei lanu, yehei lanu, yehei lanu. Ulecho Yisrael, yehei lanu, Ulecho Yisrael, David Melech Yisrael, Havikayam, David Melech Yisrael, Havikayam. Simin tova, mazel tova, simin tova, mazel tova, simin tova, mazel tova, simin tov, yehei lanu. We don't clap in synagogue here at CBI. We do one of these to let him know what an amazing job he did, and I must say, and I think you'll all agree, he did. So mazel tov to you, Chase. We are going to continue now as we put away the Torah. Normally, we would have a whole process of lifting the Torah, addressing the Torah, bringing the Torah back up. The Torah will remain on the Torah table, and we will still symbolically do all the blessings that we would say to return the Torah. We continue on page 374. 374. Yehallelu et Shem Adonai ki niskav shemo levado hodo al eretz v'shamayim vayarem keren le'amo tehila lechol chasim Israel am kerovo, hallelujah, hallelujah. מחזיקים בה ותומכיה מאושר דרכיה דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיה שלום השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה חדש חדש ימינו חדש ימינו At this time, we're going to call up Chase's parents, Stacy and Jeff, to say a few words of their own. Tissues are below.
Thanks for the reminder.
Shabbat Shalom. Stacy's speech is way too good, so I could not follow her. Chase, come here. Chase, when you and your sister were infants, it dawned on me just how important it was to be there for every moment in time, as the ages and stages would pass quickly. Whether I was getting up in the middle of the night to change a diaper or running after you at the pet store, I wanted to really appreciate every moment. Nothing else in the world seemed to matter because I got to spend that time with you. It's fitting that we're back at B'nai Israel, since it's filled with so many amazing memories from our preschool days. Between all of the shows and eventually your graduation, I cried so much that I started to warn people in advance that I was going to be okay. It's hard to believe all these years have passed and that I'm facing you today no longer as a child, but as a young man. The day you were born made our family of four complete. It seems like yesterday when I held you in my arms, endlessly dancing around the room singing to comfort you. Each stage of your life has added deep meaning and purpose to my own. Each stage has been more exciting than the next. Here's where I embarrass you a little bit. There was the clicking stage, in which everything said had to be mimicked by you in rhythmic timed tongue clicks. The musical stage, where you played guitar everywhere you went and would join street musicians without being invited. The dancing stage, in which you never stopped moving to any song with a beat and stole the show wherever we went. Counting pie, Rubik's Cube, sneakers, basketball, gaming, stock market, buying and selling everything you could possibly make a profit on. The stages came fast and were diverse. Although a lot has changed, I still look at you in amazement and cannot wait for the next stage. Mommy and I have worked every day to help bestow values and virtues, and as she often says, make you a mensch and not a mess. Now that you're a bar mitzvah, I see this stage as even more important, as you're becoming a man and yet still have the time to develop and reach your potential. So, while I have you captive and ready to listen, I want to share a few of my hopes and dreams for you. May you be warm, generous, empathic, and above all, kind to others. I hope that you'll work hard and persevere wherever life challenges you. Admit when you're wrong and learn from your mistakes. Find a way to have excitement in your life without being reckless. Show compassion to those less fortunate and practice being non-judgmental of those who may think or act differently. Treat everyone with respect and embrace each experience and interaction as a potential learning opportunity. I hope that you'll be a leader and not a follower, and stand up for what you know is right, even if your peers may express otherwise. Always practice honesty, even when the truth may not seem easiest. Engage in tzedakah and help others where you can. Be a good friend, great family member, and perpetuate what it means to be a good Jew. Every night since you were a baby, when I say goodnight, I've told you how proud I am, and today is no different. I'm truly impressed by the person you've become. You are kind, thoughtful, and passionate. You're creative, perceptive, and tenacious. May you reach all of your goals in life. I love you, and I'm so proud of you today and always. And I want to thank everyone for being here, whether you're on Zoom or live with us. We really appreciate you sharing in our special occasion, and Shabbat Shalom.
Okay. So I haven't even started yet, and I'm already crying. So bear with me, and thank you everybody for being here and for watching. Chase, Cheche, Chaim, you go by many names in our house. Sorry. But to me, you will always be my sweet boy. When you were little, this remarkable gift from God, you would never sleep, like ever, unless we were holding you, rocking you, and singing. As you know, we made up this song, and we sang it over and over again. And much to his embarrassment, I still sing it to him today. It goes, I love my little Cheche, my Cheche. You're sweet and you're kind. You're loving and wonderful. I love my little Cheche so much. Little did I know how true these words would be. You are a kind, gentle soul who completed our family. How fitting that your Torah portion is Bereshit, in the beginning. You, my little man, were the beginning of our family of 4. You were little. When you were little, you were so quiet. You hardly ever spoke. But your sister did enough talking for the both of you. You followed her around with a smile on your face and so much love in your heart. From a very early age, we have instilled upon you that nothing is more important than family. I think that is one of the things that I love best about you. You always choose family first. I'm so proud of you. You are growing into everything I could have hoped. You are becoming an amazing man, and you have amazing men in your life to help guide you to be the men that will do good in this world. From your dad, you are learning to be humble, good-hearted, and how to one day be a good husband and an amazing father. From your uncle, you are learning to love and respect everyone, no matter who they are, where they come from, and to see a future that is better than what came before. From your Zaida, you have learned life lessons of patience, family before anything. It is okay to go in the ocean, and the stock market tips aren't too bad either. Tomer, thank you for being you and a role model that makes my son want to continue with his Judaic studies and show up. We would not be in this shul at this moment without you. Chase, learn from the men around you. Be good, do good, make good choices, and continue to touch everyone around you with the funny, smart, and caring heart you possess. And always know, no matter what, no matter where, I have your back. I will always be your biggest cheerleader in the game of basketball and in the game of life. Little known fact, boys, when Chase was little, he asked me if he could call me Gloria.
I never said that.
Why?
I never said that.
Because that was LeBron James's mom's name. And he would look at me and he would say, she always believed in him like you believe in me. I will never stop believing. I was, am, and will always be your Gloria. Good Shabbos, Mommy. I love you.
You're right, Jeff. You can't follow that, and neither can I.
I love you.
But what I can do, Chase, is bestow upon you one of our most ancient and oldest blessings upon you on this occasion, the priestly benediction. May God bless you and keep you. May God's presence shine and be good to you. May God's countenance turn and give you peace. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Yair Adonai panav elecha Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yaseim lecha. Shalom. Before we continue to conclude our service, Chase, we do have a couple of gifts for you. If you reach down below on that first shelf there, you can take them all out. Should be 3, 2, 3. Yes, yes, and yes. All right, what's that first thing you got there right in front of you? What are you holding up? The entire Torah. Boom, mic drop. We just gave you the whole Torah to go with you for the rest of your life. Your Torah portion is in there, your Haftorah portion is in there, and you did such an amazing job. I expect that you're going to learn many, many more Torah portions, including Haftorah, and who knows, maybe I'll get you up here for the high holidays. What do you think? Yeah, sure. Okay, great. Excellent. Go ahead. What's the next thing you got there?
From the Brotherhood.
From the Brotherhood. Go ahead. Why don't you open it up? I have no idea what it is. You know, when I was bar mitzvahed, I got a pat on the back. I didn't get gifts. How about you, Tomer? Did you get gifts? Nothing, right? Good job. All right, what is it? What does it say?
Jewish jocks.
Jewish jocks. Well, it sounds like you're into basketball, so maybe right up your alley there. So enjoy that from the Brotherhood.
Thank you.
And one last gift we have.
It's a Kiddush cup.
It's a Kiddush cup. So last night, for those of you who were here, for those of you who were watching, Chase led us in our Friday night Kiddush. He did a beautiful job. And now, Chase, you have your own Kiddush cup so that you could lead yourself, your family in Kiddush every Friday night, all the holidays. And we hope that you use that in good health for many, many years to come. So once again, Mazel Tov, Yasher Koach, to a job incredibly done. And we are going to continue now on page 586 with Aleinu. Please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, lateit gedula leotze breshit, shelo asanu kigoy aratzot, velo samanu kimishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, vanachnu קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. Our thoughts now turn to those of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died in this season and in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. If there are any names that you would like to mention at this time for the Mourner's Kaddish, I ask that the family or friends who are present please say their names now. Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, be'olma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach Leolam Olamei Almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudisha b'richu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiram be'alma v'yamru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yamru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yamru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all of Israel, to which we all say, Amen. As we conclude our service, once again, a Yasher Koach, a Mazel Tov to you, Chase, to the entire family, Stacy, Jeff, Mason. He did an absolutely amazing job. You've raised quite the young man. I can't wait to see what life he brings to this community and to the rest of the world. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So, Yasher Koach, we're going to conclude with Ein Kelohenu on page 626. You may be seated. Ein Kelohenu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Michelohenu, Michadonenu, Michemalkeinu, Michemoshienu. Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Mazel Tov.